It took 16 races, but Andrew Kinsella finally found his way back into victory lane and the championship hunt in the Lionheart IndyCar Series, presented by First Medical Equipment. The Canadian rookie used a strong run on the outside to go from third to first in the closing laps of the Nailed It 150 at New Hampshire Motor Speedway Wednesday night. Kinsella, the early point season leader after winning the opener at Homestead Miami Speedway, started 24th following a poor showing in qualifying. At a track notoriously difficult to pass on, only 2 of the top 10 finishers actually started in the top 10. Kinsella took the lead from Chris Lanini with 4 laps to go and held off a challenge from 2-time defending series champion Jake Wright, the current points leader, to take his second career win. Lanini nearly stole the show, attempting to stretch his fuel. More than 50 laps, he'd run out of gas on the final lap, falling to 16th. Jason Galvin held off Tony Shallen in a great battle for third. Michael Goodman came home in 5th. Wright paced himself, running a few spots off the lead for most of the event before driving to the front and nearly picking up a win late in the race. Dan Guerin, the pole sitter and Wright's biggest adversary in the championship hunt right now, looked determined to take the lead in the standings after setting fast time and leading 48 laps, but a speeding penalty in the pits buried Guerin deep in the field. He was then caught a lap down during green flag pit stops. The Iowa native rebounded late to finish 11th. Joe Branch and Justin Weaver finished 6th and 7th, followed by 3 drivers with season best runs: Matthew Mercer, Vincent Blumenthal, and Brian Greenlee, who led 4 laps en route to his first career Lionheart top 10. The race was slowed by 9 cautions for 36 laps. Incidents took out several cars with good pace, including Bob Mikes, Dustin Wardlow, and Joe Hassert. Brian Yatsik spun out of the lead, ending his chances at his first career Lionheart IndyCar Series win as well. Wright's strong run, compounded with Guerin's struggles, opened up the championship lead. Wright now leads Guerin by 19 points. Kinsella closing back in to 85 of the points lead with 66 points to go to catch Guerin for second.
Engineered to win, built to last. Nothing beats the feel of a true hydraulic braking system in the world of sim racing. HPP's hydraulic pedals and their accessories set the standard for simulation racing. For more information on HPP and the product they offer, visit hppsimulation.com. And for more on the Lionheart IndyCar Series, go to lionheartracingseries.com.
The lights are off and away they go.
Extremely loose. He's managed to hold on and they get.
He missed the complete. He's crazy.
Side Freitas is on the grass on the infield for 4. He slides through. He tags Richard Eck.
For these drivers, it isn't about the largest purse in Lionheart history, it's about keeping the memory of Dan Weldon alive. Any one of the 42 drivers can win, but to do so, they will need speed and determination. Rookies must battle hardened veterans, and all must conquer an assortment of roads and ovals.
On the inside, can he make it stick? He loses momentum. No, he cannot make it stick. Wright pulls ahead. There's nothing they touch. The winner is going to be Big Joe. No, it's Stouffer. I called it wrong. He's going to try to close the door out of pit exit, and I think he has to.
With a history of double-digit winners per season, the challenge will be harder than ever. Which one will ultimately be crowned Lionheart champion? You're watching the Lionheart IndyCar Series presented by First Medical Equipment, the premier American open-wheel championship on iRacing, exclusively on GSRC.
Presented by First Medical Equipment, the Lionheart IndyCar Series comes to the Buckeye State for the Mid-Ohio 100. Top rookie Andrew Kinsella is hoping to follow up on his last round victory at New Hampshire, but the current point leader, reigning and 2-time champion Jake Wright might have other plans. This is round 18 of 24 on the Season 5 schedule, and all the DW12 action comes to you live as it happens here on the Global Sim Racing Channel. Welcome to Von Hansen's Countdown to Green. Over the next 15 streaming award-worthy minutes, GSRC will furnish you with all the storylines, all the stats and facts you'll need to fully appreciate the Mid-Ohio 100 that will immediately follow. Way up in the press box to bring you our Word's Eye view, it's yours truly, Bill Soups On, joined by Sean Crackers Ambrose. In the production van is the Doctor of Pits Topology himself, our director, Amjad Yaman, armed with cameras located, aimed, focused, and zoomed by GSRC's in-house director of photography, Dougie Beard. Considered the fixed setup league, the premier fixed setup league for the Lara DW12 on the iRacing service, the Lionheart IndyCar Series honors the memory of the late Dan Weldon. Now, Crackers, this series has only come here once before, way back in the inaugural season, when the current chief steward, Jesse Vincent, won both the pole and the race on a way to his first of 2 Lionheart IndyCar Series titles. With only 4 drivers still active from that race, I think the fans and the drivers alike would benefit from a refresher about Mid-Ohio.
And folks, before I talk about the track, let me remind you that everything on the Countdown to Green show is brought to you thanks to Von Hansen's Meat Market. That's right, since 1983, Von Hansen's has delivered personalized, full service in a friendly, old-fashioned meat market environment. They offer a large and ever-expanding selection of meat products and menu ideas ranging from casual gatherings to special occasions. For more information, please visit vonhansens.com. Let's talk about this Mid-Ohio sports car course where we're at today. This place ranks among America's premier road course facilities. Soup. The track is located just outside the village of Lexington, Ohio, and they opened it back in 1962, and since then it's been refurbished a few times. But on iRacing, we've got 3 legitimate road course configurations, plus a very rarely used clockwise and counterclockwise half-mile oval. But today we are on the full tilt 2.2 mile 13 corner layout, which has a beautiful blend of fast, medium, and slow speed corners, 1 long straightaway, and several dynamic elevation changes. Drivers today will face the daunting Turn 1, a roller coaster series of S's known as Madness, and then conclude their lap with what seems like 360-degree carousel that offers a plethora of racing lines. But the best way to get an idea of what this place is really like is to hop on board the GSRC DW12 and take a lap around Mid-Ohio Sports Car Complex.
All right, we've got Amjad Yaman of the GSRC DW12, so let's do a lap around Mid-Ohio. Turn 1 takes an incredible amount of commitment and precision. Expect a few drivers to understeer wide out of here over the course of a race. Then comes the run to the keyhole, which is a popular place for overtakes. Even though the entry is uphill, it'll be easy to outbrake yourself. Drivers overtaking to the inside just slide off into the gravel all the time. Try your best to square off the exit because we're now onto the longest acceleration zone of the track. Straighten out the little kink in the middle of the backstretch and then line yourself up for China Beach. This is where you're going to see the vast majority of passes take place, but the way the track switches back into madness means you can defend from either side. Watch out for the crest, which can cause a big push on exit. And then make sure to set up each subsequent corner with your line. You'll continue to weave back and forth through the S's, but it's the braking into the jump that will prove the most difficult. You're trying to turn the car as you're slowing it up, and then on top of it, you have to find traction just when the car gets light. Finally, you're climbing through Thunder Valley. Hug the Armco on the right and do your best to hit your turn in for corner 11. That leads directly into the carousel, which is ideally taken as a double apexer. Line the car up with as much of a straight shot as possible, then ease onto the throttle, and hopefully you've finished a lap around Mid-Ohio.
Joe Peak on the mic, Amjad Yaman on the wheel, taking us around Mid-Ohio. And now let's take a lap around the point standings, and it's important to keep in mind these numbers do reflect the results after each driver drops his 3 worst events. Jake Wright for No Name Racings, he's got 6 wins, 4 out of 5 on road courses. He was tied, but now he's ahead by 17 points because of his runner-up last time out. How about Team Hashtag Nailed It Dan Guerin? His 11th last time out drops him out of that tie with Wright. He's the only driver, though, to best Wright on a road course. He did that at Phillip Island. He's got 3 wins so far this season. Then we go to the top rookie, Andrew Kinsella for Adrenaline Motorsports. Contrary to reports from certain commentators, the rose is still quite fragrant, smelling sweet after a New Hampshire win. Havaketch moves a little closer to the lead, but more importantly, pulls away from Michael Goodman for top rookie. Sean will have a little more about that a little later. And let's talk about Goodman for AGR Motorsports. Everyone's still waiting for him to get that first win, and he's been a runner-up on road courses twice so far this season. And then a driver that you didn't see on there, Tony Schowen for Adrenaline Motorsports. He's had a 4th place at New Hampshire. That was his best this season. Up 4 spots, 17th, just off the overlay. Okay, let's quickly look at the team championship. And all the eyes are on AGR Motorsports. They are chasing #NailedIt for that final podium spot. They were second best at New Hampshire, thanks to Jason Galvin, Michael Goodman, and George Anzaldo, gaining 72 points on #NailedIt, now back by just 18 for a podium. Adrenaline Motorsports, they won the round last time out, 155 points, thanks to Andrew Kinsella, Tony Schowen, and Joe Branch. They've closed 40 points on the leading team, which is No Name Racing, who holds station in first. #NailedIt 6th last time at New Hampshire, 50 points only from Dan Guerin and Michael Gray. And then the team to watch out for, Dragonfly Racing. They gained 22 points on Controlled Chaos, 4th best last time out with 83, thanks to Robert Bluen, Chris Lanini, and Dustin Wardlow. Now, just 10 points out of 5th place. Sean, what else you got?
Let's look at the rookie standing, Soup, and boy, what a battle we've got going on there. Andrew Kinsella there on top. Michael Goodman, though, here with a good run today at Mid-Ohio, could certainly make that a lot closer. He's only 51 points back. Ryan Otis, who I hear, rumor has it, Soup, is not going to be here today, stands to lose a little more ground there on his assault to try and get to the top of that list. Bolster back 262 points, but watch out for the Candyman, Dustin Wardlow. He is here tonight, and he is battling for that 4th spot. Paulson in 6th. You all the way back to the Turnbulls in 12th and 13th, and I don't think we've seen a Turnbull in several races, Soup, so I don't know if they're going to be a factor to crack the top 10. Let's move on to the manufacturer standing and see where we stand there. Currently, we've got Toyota on top, but the bow tie, just 82 points back, stands the best chance to take over that lead from Toyota before this season's over. Mazda sitting in 3rd, but looking right over their shoulder at the blue oval, who has not seemed to have been able to make any significant ground. Who knows? Maybe tonight's the night they move forward. Honda, Mercedes, and Tesla far behind right now. Tesla with a meager showing this season, only 302 points gained so far. So maybe electric cars aren't the answer when it comes to racing here in the Lionheart IndyCar Series. I don't know. We'll find out. Maybe next season that story will continue. Let's look at the Sim Money standings real quick here. And on top, you're going to find Jake Wright, our only driver, over $2 million, just barely to $2,011,000. Dan Guerin sneaking up over that 1.5 mark now. Kinsella just shy of $1.5 million there in 3rd. Goodman not far behind either. He's got a good battle going there with 3rd place. Go a little bit farther back to Grahula, Galvin, all within that 1.3, 1.2 mark. Your top 9 all over $1 million, and then Ryan Otis just barely out of the top 10 there with $940 something thousand there, Soup. But lots going on there in the standings.
And now for new viewers, let's go ahead and put up the series details here for you. You can see the sponsor, and we're on season number 5 and our schedule and everything. We're going to go to point number 6 right now, Sean. We always like to talk about the setup. How's the setup for today's race?
Well, Soup, I'm going to be honest with you now. The setup, this is a little tricky. This is a tricky course. The setup's, how do I say, it's twitchy, right? Okay, so you've got to be really consistent. You don't want to make any erratic movements with your steering input because the car is a little twitchy and a little hard to handle at times. So everybody dealing with the same one, as this is the premier fixed setup league here in the DW12. It's going to be a lot of fun this evening.
And of course, the cash prizes here are big: $1,800 in cash. Plus $1,250 prize of pedals from HPP. Total prize of $3,450. How's the weather?
Soup, the weather's fine. It's mostly cloudy, 78 degrees outside. It's about 89 degrees on track. Not too bad. Not a lot of wind at all. Only about 2 miles an hour. And about 55% humidity. a great day here for racing in the great state of Ohio.
Let's quickly look at the event details here. And Sean, what we want to talk about on this one is the stops. You can one-stop it, but some might two-stop it. Tell us about it.
Oh, can you one-stop it? Well, I've talked to, I got a little intel today. Yeah, you can one-stop it, but you're not really going to be advised to use that push-to-pass, of which you get 10 of. That's a little extra turbo boost out of the DW12, but it'll be all about pace and really, really conserving if you want to try and one-stop it. I think the really, really fast competitors in this race are probably going to two-stop it, and maybe some of your mid-packers might try to go after that one-stop strategy. I also heard it may cost you about 30 seconds overall, so I don't know. We'll see. I think we'll have some takers for that.
Okay, before we get to the grid, let's talk about the Patrick Taylor Memorial Tournament. Sadly, the field was racing for Patrick, was not able to knock him off the top seat. So Jake Wright, he'll advance to the next round. He's going to face the number 9 seed of Ryan Otis. Everything else is chalk after that, with the number 4 of Michael Goodman matched up against the 5 seed of James Krahula. Number 2, Dan Guerin gets last season's tourney winner Jason Galvin, and Have a Catch Kinsella faces off with the Racing Kangaroo Michael Gray. It's going to be the best results from today's Mid-Ohio race, or Iowa, who advances into the semifinals. Okay, well, actually the quarterfinals, I guess. With that going on, we take a look at the qualifying that's going on. Look at that. Dan Guerin is up in front. Jake Wright sitting in second position. And as they qualify, it's just about time to go racing. And remember, when it is time to go racing, nothing beats the feel of a true hydraulic braking system from HPP Simulations. Designed and manufactured in the USA on state-of-the-art CNC equipment, HPP hydraulic pedals and their accessories set the standard for simulation racing. For more information, please visit hppsimulation.com. With about 20 seconds left in qualifying, why don't we go to the grid right now? And you can go ahead. We'll bring that up for you. And you can see we're pretty sure that Dan Guerin and Jake Wright going to be sitting on the top row. Michael Goodman, Adam Blocker make up row 2. Row 3, David Altman, Andrew Kinsella, followed by Dustin Wardlow and Brian Yosick in row 4. And then in row number 5, it's Joe Branch and Jason Galvin. Sean?
Okay, and row 6 going to be Rory Collins and Scott Bolster. Pierre Degla will start in row 7, 13th, and Bob Mikas. They're in 14th. 15th, going to be Scott Johnson on the inside of row 8. Woody Mahan, they're in 16th. Row 9, Ron Hacker and George Anzaldo. Row 10, the Racing Kangaroo, Michael Gray from all the way down under. And Eddie Tutwiler, 20th.
Then rounding out the back of the field, Big Joe Hazard, Vincent Blumenthal, Robert Bluen, Justin Weaver, Bart Workman, and Matthew Mercer. A smallish field for us with only 26 drivers here today. How about some onboard cameras?
All right, let's do it, Soup. We will start with the onboard camera of Michael Gray, the Racing Kangaroo. The Race Center onboard camera, or no, we're with Dan Guerin. No, we're back. We're back to the Racing Kangaroo. Michael Gray there, the hashtag Team Nailed It driver there, the Race Center onboard camera. They're located in Australia, 3 locations, I believe it is. And let's move on to Dan. Let's go to Dan Guerin now, the Barber Financial onboard camera. It's Dave Barber's little side business he's got going on there. And boy, check him out, Barber Financial. If you need your taxes done, although it's a ways off, maybe you need an extension from April. Now, let's move to Dustin Wardlow, the Candyman. Yes, the Candyman can in the Lock Precision onboard camera, and we love Flying Lock. Man, they make some tremendous rockets. I don't know if you've seen some of the videos and some of the pictures, Soup, but they're doing some pretty amazing things over there at Lock Precision. And these are not your run-of-the-mill get down at Walmart model rockets. These are a little bit more heavy-duty than that.
And Dustin Wardlow is also our profile driver, so we're going to keep an eye on him. He starts in 7th position right now, so we'll give him a little extra love today. We call him the Candyman. He's not racing in the Dwarves candy, but Sean and I both received a little Dwarves candy coming our way. Pretty darn tasty. You put a little candy in there after you get some of that Von Hansen's beef jerky, you got yourself a nice little meal and dessert. Okay, it's a short run to the green flag here. They just work their way around the carousel. The pace car pulls off, and we go green very quickly. And as you gather up the chickens and you take cover behind the cows, it is dandy Dan Guerin out in front. He's got Jake Wright tucks in for second. Goodman, Blocker, keep an eye on him. And how about this? David Altman up into, I guess, fifth position.
Boy, Soup, and they are really battling already. Jason Galvin back here on the outside, right there on the inside of him. Joe Branch, as they get through the keyhole, Galvin takes the advantage up the straightaway.
A rather smallish field here today, 26 drivers. Boy, there's a lot of series that would be happy to have 26 drivers come out. Not here for the Lionheart, or notoriously have a reputation for large fields. Meanwhile, talking about the field, leading 25 drivers is Dan Guerin, but he's not getting away from Jake Wright. Michael Goodman in third. Adam Blocker, he's a guy that we expect something big from here today. He's pretty good on ovals, really good on a road course. Keep an eye on him as he runs in fourth. And then a driver I'm going to have to get a little familiar with out here, higher up than I've expected. That's David Altman racing back there in fifth.
I'll tell you what, Soup, got a great battle here at the back of the field already by a couple of newcomers, Justin Weaver and Scott Johnson going at it. Justin Weaver already up 4 spots in that Moby Dickey's DW12, chasing Scott Johnson. But boy, Justin got a great start to this race and seems to have a handle here on it early.
How about a tip of the hat to all the drivers as we get around completely clean? 26 drivers took the grid, 26 drivers came around first place, and now we look at the battle up front. It didn't take them long. Here comes Jake Wright. And he gets the first spot. Dan Guerin slotted back to second. Sean, let's take a second look at this pass.
Yeah, we've already got a replay ready. And here we go. Jake going to set him up here, heading down into China Beach. It's a great opportunity there, a great run you can get.
When we come back, let's go to Michael Gray. He made contact. Big Joe Hassard picked up part of that, as well as Scott Johnson.
Yeah, Michael Gray gets into the back of Ron Hacker. You're going to see here on board of the mic at Race Center onboard camera. Going to center punch him there, and boy.
And honestly, there was Pierre Daigle was off in the grass ahead of him. I almost wonder if he didn't take some of the concentration out. He wasn't involved in the end. There you see Daigle way up. See him up on the grass there?
Yeah.
Really wasn't involved in any of the nonsense going on, but I wonder if some of the drivers were just looking over there. How could you not?
I think Pierre got into it with Scott Bolster. I think him and Scott got together. It got Pierre off course there. Boy. You know, one car to just get through that was George Anzaldo. That got him actually up to 15th. You see the Arctic Cat DW12 there, Big Joe Hassard already in the pit.
Remember, this is big boy racing. You break it, you bought it. No fast repairs in the Lionheart IndyCar series.
No, sir.
Just makes the broadcast that much better. Adds to the drama, and you can feel the despair from the drivers that have practiced so hard, and their race really only went 2 laps. But, Sean, that's how iRacing simulates real-world racing. I mean, real-world racing, if it wasn't for disappointment, well, how much fun would it be?
That's right, buddy. You're absolutely right. Hey, another runner right now, Woody Mahan, having a good start to this race. He's in 12th already, up 4 spots, chasing Bob Mikas. It's one of our plasti-dipped garage.com guys there, Soup. They're the ones that like to dip the cars, you remember?
Yeah, I do. I have an idea about that. I suggest they get 2 guys with 2 different colors of paint, put them in the room with a bottle of Jack Daniels, and see what you get, kind of a Palomino Calico type car. I'm always coming up with new deals, trying to help our sponsors out whenever I can.
I think they'll take that under advisement.
Kinsella moves up to P8. We saw that one on screen as he got around Jason Galvin. Meanwhile, he must be part Italian boat because he is gondola. I'm talking about Jake Wright up there now with a 2.4 second lead. In fact, his main issue right now is Big Joe Hassard, who is going to try to put a lap down, which he does easily. But, Sean, we touched on it in the pre-race show. We can't be fooled by the pace here. Some of these guys may be maybe thinking to one-stop it and not racing full song.
That's right. That's right. There may be a strategy here at play that puts you on a one-stopper, and if you're a one-stopper, there's a certain lap time, a number that you're looking to hit lap after lap, and you don't want to vary from that because it really is going to come down to just the umpteenth bit of fuel left in the tank to complete a one-stop strategy on this track.
Sean says these are fixed setups. Does that allow the driver to play with the fuel mix, or do they have to save fuel just by short shifting and lifting early?
Oh, no, they're old school. They got to save it
Okay.
by short shifting and lifting and what have you. But again, more so on this track, it's going to be all about pace and which one you can maintain.
Kind of like a marathon runner wanting to hit a certain
Right.
time every mile. Just
Exactly.
stay on your pace. Well, based on that theory, from what I'm seeing Jake Wright do right there, he feels like he's two-stopping as we ride on board with the Candyman, our featured driver.
There he
In
is.
7th.
Justin having a good run. So far, so good. The car is still clean.
Working on Brian Yosick right now.
Boy, we haven't even mentioned him at all. Yazik up a couple of spots to 6th. He won't disappoint before this race is over. Soup, he's always up there in these road course races.
Well, let's talk about our hard charger. We have to talk about a couple people with last name of what starts with a double. How about Bart Workman? Started 25th. He's racing in 19th position right now, up 6 spots. And then maybe just a couple spots up from him, another W. Justin Weaver started 24th, racing up in 18th. And Justin looking to make it 17th there as he's working on the back of Pierre Nightingale. Let's stay on this battle for a bit. They work through the carousel, now down across the start-finish line. He's got a pretty good run. Degla. Now this is interesting because it's a left-hander there. Look at that, he gets to the inside. Boy, Dustin brings it in hotter than desert sand, but they are side by side now.
I can tell you, I like what we're seeing under this Justin Weaver kid, man. He is exciting to watch, and he's giving Pierre quite a fight right now.
Whoa!
Oh, watch out.
Apparently has something against the cones as he went offline and took one out. A little cone-aside done there by Justin Weaver.
I was just about to comment that there were some cones injured in that incident, unfortunately. Pour one out for the cone.
Be a good show for NBC. Cone-aside. All right, looks like Weaver not going to be able to get Diglett. We'll come back and check on that later. Look at this. We're looking here at Ron Hacker.
Yeah, Ron down there, boy, right there in the carousel.
And then stay with it, because as he comes out, maybe you can go back to Ed Tutwiler. Tutwiler almost gets him. There we see the spin by Hacker.
Yeah,
Stay on this a bit.
Ed's going to have to lock him up here, Soup, because he sees Ron in the middle of the track, and he's coming up on him quick there, and Ed gets on the brakes. And
and he's, look at that.
Oh.
He's shamooded on the, he's a whale. He's beached it on top of the curbing.
And had to take the toe. Wow. What a tough break there for Eddie Tutwiler. That just doesn't seem fair at all.
Boy, that's a tough way to. That is a tough way to have your race. And what does that mean, Sean? If he takes the toe, can he get back out, or he has to wait? He doesn't get the fast repair. He just has to wait to iRacing to tow him around.
He's got to wait for the toe in, and then that'll have any damage there. But still, yeah, he's got to wait however long that's going to be. He's going on a minute, still sitting there.
Tutwiler, I believe, if I'm correct, he races for Area 51. I hope I got that one right. We talked about the Tutwilers not being here. I think they've run out of simulated money. That team was going in the red quick.
You mean the Turnbulls?
The Turnbulls, yeah. Turnbulls, yeah. Oh, Tutwiler's Dragonfly, and that's a team that is making a run. We talked about them earlier. Looking at Dan Guerin now in second. Oh my goodness. Joe Branch. Right on board, Joe.
Add Joe to the list of drivers that can't catch a break just outside of Galvin there. Just loses it there coming off the turn.
We still have, as we look at Joe Branch, we still have 22 drivers on the lead lap. Scott Johnson is back out there. Joe Hassard 1 lap down racing as well. Ed Tutwiler, after getting beached, he's back racing 1 lap down. But the Racing Kangaroo, he's called it a day.
He didn't even get beached at the beach. That's kind of, boy, you got kind of ripped off there. China Beach, a great
China
area
Beach.
to get beached at.
Look at this.
Boy. Man, Branch, more trouble for Joe. And poor Joe's just a sitting duck right now. Oh boy, pulled over, almost gets run into there by Scott Bolster coming through. And this is a battle here. Just behind them, Justin Weaver, Bolster, all battling for position. Bart Workman locked up in there. There's Pierre Degla trying to get those positions back.
Now remember, we talked about Degla. Look, it's Weaver and Workman. Those are our hard chargers. They found each other. They've got around Degla, and now those guys are coming on the back of Bolster. Here's where the action is, back here with Justin Weaver. And he's going to make the move. He's got a good run. Going to have to wait.
Woody Mahan coming in for a pit stop. Don't see any damage on the car immediately. This could be a scheduled stop for him.
10 is probably, if you're going to do a 2-stopper, you probably when the car went up, car went down.
He's away.
Let's go back to the battle for 15th now between our 2 Chargers. Oh, this is Bolster. Workman still got him. Weaver has made short work of Bolster. Man, gosh. We take a quick look at the pit stop. Blink your eye, and Justin Weaver gets another spot.
I mean, he is just on a full-on assault right now. Got great positions right in front of him now. He's caught up to Joe Branch, George Anzaldo.
Oh, look at
Anzaldo having trouble.
Yep. Both of those guys, Branch and Anzaldo, have lost the rhythm of the race. And the guy who is right in step is Justin Weaver. He's coming up now behind these 2 guys. You almost got to wonder, well, I hope maybe if you're watching, maybe Justin come in and talk to us during the post-race interview. I'd like to know how you can be so fast and the race so slow during qualifying.
All things we want an answer to, Sue.
Another driver coming in, Scott Bolster. He joins Mahan. This could be, if you want to break the race up in almost like three equal segments, around lap 11. I think 14 is the perfect third. 14, 14, and 14, I think, equals 42 if Sister Mary Catherine taught me right in 6th grade. I think that's right.
I hope she did.
Let's look at this. Weaver again.
Yeah, getting by George Anzaldo as they headed through the speed trap there. Justin Weaver able to outbrake George there into China Beach. Altman's got down into the pits. Altman is in the pit lane.
Now again,
to find his box.
Yeah, he was running up inside the top 10. So again, I think this is the 2-stop strategy. Now, Sean, they have to start with full fuel because they don't get to play around with the setup. I guess you could do it I guess you could either do it a third, and a third, or you could go long the first time, long the second time with a splash and go. Let's go ahead and back up to our leader real quick as he's working on Scott Johnson. Johnson, I believe the last car legitimately on the lead lap. No, he's already a lap down. A short layout here and a fast time around lap times. Oh my goodness! Well, sorry Jake from Scott. And all right from Jake.
Yeah.
Scott. Up. And Vincent Bluthenthal had a self-spin.
Yes, he has. And a lot of cars coming through right there. He's got to be careful. Oh, boy, still coming through. And, boy, he got right on top of that curb as he tried to get away from it as well, Soup. And I guess we know now you need to watch that. Make sure you have enough momentum to get over the top of that curb. You're going to wind up beached up on top of it, back up to 5th place.
And the first 2 cars by were the leaders there, as it was Wright and Gare. Now we're looking at 5th. This is Yazik with the Candyman back behind him. Dustin Wardlow. Can we talk a little bit about how Dustin's done so far this season, Sean? Do you have that available? Did I catch you off guard?
No, not at all, Soup. I am ready to go with that. Dustin's had a great season here so far. You know, he's had 16 starts here in the Lionheart IndyCar Series, brought to you by First Medical Equipment. He's got 2 top 5s. He's had 4 top 10s. His first start was season 5 here at Homestead, and his best finish so far this season has been at Phillip Island and Mossport. He has finished 4th at both tracks. So, the Candyman looking for a little bit more here today as he is in the pit now.
That's one way to avoid the commentator's curse when we put the spotlight on.
Right?
Go on in and pit. Although stuff can happen to you in there too, yeah.
A lot of drivers coming in. You saw Joe Branch in the back of the picture there, the yellow Pennzoil machine coming down pit lane.
Well, this gives it to you now. This is lap 28. I said it was, or 28 to go. This is right at that 14 lap mark. So these are the guys who are breaking it up into thirds. Now, that doesn't mean that everyone else is going to one-stop it. They can still run it, I think, to lap 20. We do know somebody who is definitely going to try to one-stop it. I don't want to give away a strategy, but maybe we could look at the car in 13th position for no reason at all.
For no reason at all?
No, that's George Anzaldo. I don't want you to assume anything by my taking the camera here, but he is up in 13th.
You know, tough to see that trouble for Michael Gray, the Racing Kangaroo. PC problems, and unfortunately not going to be able to finish this race. And Big Joe, the Big Joe Show, taking his car behind the wall. Oh, trouble for Wardlow getting into the pit there. Misses his mark a little bit, Soup.
Oh, this is the Candyman. Remember, he came in and took that stop during the when we were spotlighting him. Now he has to come in again. You know what, Sean? We tried not to curse him, but I think we gave him a speeding penalty because we had the spotlight on.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
We joked about him avoiding the commentator's curse by taking a pit stop. The curse knows. It'll find you. It's all powerful. All right, let's go up to 16th position. This is a lap car being lapped for legitimate. Here, this is Joe Branch. Now, has Joe made a stop in 16th yet? Yes, he has. Wright has not. The top 7 drivers yet to come in. Wright, Guerin, Goodman, Blocker, Kinsella, Galvin, and Bob Mikas.
Okay, now let's look just outside of that top 7. Let's go to the 10th place, Justin Weaver. He has found Brian Yazik. This is a battle for position. Now, Yazik has pit. So is David Altman just up in front of Yazik. But this is a position, a legitimate one for Weaver. He has not taken his pit stop yet. Weaver could be trying the one-stop strategy, but I got to be honest with you, he's been awful fast and digging really hard.
Yeah.
I don't know if he can get to the front that way on a one-stop strategy. But here he goes into China Beach, gets under. Yazik is going to get by. Yazik going to let him go in anticipation of him obviously having to pit off, and the top 4 have come in, Soup.
Right here in Goodman and Blocker. That's going to give the lead over to Have a Catch Kinsella. Nope. Kinsella bites as well. Who's going to stay out? Well, it's the man who's had probably the worst pit stops all season long, and that is Jason Galvin. He's going to inherit the lead.
You know, the last time we were here, Soup, we talked about Galvin being a winner in real life, and his race car is unlimited modified. And guess what? He did it again the following week after that while we were away.
Checkers breed checkers. I think that's how the saying goes.
Yeah.
You know, we talked about Dustin Wardwell having to make that second stop. He is back in 17th now. And the bad news is he still has one more in front of him. So he's using the 3-stop strategy. It's a daring strategy.
Boy, Galvin really having to fight hard here to stay at the top. Jake Wright in for that pit and out. It was a clean one because he's right there on the tail of Galvin.
Oh, Weaver has had a spin. He was having such a great run, and he slams it in on the, well, if it was a 2-passenger car, on the driver's side.
Yeah, he does. He gets that left side into the tire barrier. Gonna see him slide off course here. Boy, and he's gonna have trouble getting it going again after he hit. That's gonna be a little bit of damage on the left side of that car. Maybe not much. Boy, and Soup, he had picked up so many spots there.
You live by the sword, you die by the sword.
Yeah.
And
Justin
Jake
was
Wright
up 17 spots there. Now we got a pass for the lead. Jake finally getting that back.
It's kind of a misleading pass because remember, Galvin still has to come in. But now here's this thing with Galvin. He's getting really close to one stop in this. Is he the guy who's going to do it? He's working 24 to go. He needs to go around 1.5 more times.
No, he's not. He's coming in now.
Do they listen to the broadcast and are they talking? Oh, look at that. Galvin, I talked about his trouble with pit lane. He almost gets into a Scott Bolster.
Yeah, but no trouble, no fault of his own is what I was trying to say there. But Galvin gets in and gets in clean. Let's hope he can get into the box clean. And it's a good tight stop there for Galvin. The wheels are up.
I got to give Bolster some credit, I guess. He must have realized that the 2 cars he was racing with were not coming in. And I'm talking about Dan Guerin and Hacker, because if they were, he was blocking the entrance. He did a good job of waiting for Galvin again, though. He must have listened to the pitting in call. So, good job, Scott.
Scott Weaver with a quick, Justin Weaver. Sorry about that, Justin, with a quick in and out there of the pit. Making his way off the pit lane now. About to get off that limiter, and there he goes.
And that makes our hard charger, the guy who is following Weaver all the way around, it is Mahan. You know, Mahan has done better since he shortened his first name from Woodrow to Woody. He is definitely faster as Woody than he was at Woodrow.
You think there was some strategy to that, huh, Sue?
I think you go with it. I think next week he may be Wood Mahan. He's going to keep chopping off letters. The end of the season's going to be woo.
Yeah, woo. I think Woody would go with that. I think he'd be happy with that. Oh, Blocker getting under. Boy, Bolster having more trouble, Soup. Back at the keyhole. Bolster gets off course. Blocker able to get by. I'm sorry, Ron Hacker got by Bolster. I knew it ended in an ER. You're going to see Bolster.
Good runs.
You're going to see him just run off there into the grass. Altman able.
And we come back live. He's had trouble one more time.
Oh, so many cars trying to get through right there. Michael Goodman runs right up on him. Jeez.
Now, Goodman, who qualified third, was running up front, but my goodness, now he is way back in sixth. And his pit stop time, Sean, you look at what I'm looking at, 20 seconds compared to 7 for everybody else.
There may have been some wing repair there for him on that stop. That certainly looks like the amount of time it would have taken to replace a wing. Any damage that wing, it'll replace it.
Okay, Sean, if the drivers will cooperate, why don't we run through the 17 cars that are still on the lead lap? We'll take them 2 at a time. I get the big names. Jake Wright out in front. He's got a let's call it 4 seconds now as it continues to increase as I talk. Lead over Dandy Dan Guerin. Guerin just getting around a car that was off. That was Ed Tutwiler, who's back out there right now, racing in 24th. Guerin qualified on the pole, has dropped a position. He gave that up to Wright early on, and once Wright got around him, he's long gone. Who's in third?
That'd be Adam Blocker, currently in third. Soup Blocker started in fourth and currently holds that third spot, having a good solid run, dealing with getting around the traffic right now. Ed Tutwiler was there. He's able to clear him and get across that start-finish line with 20 laps to go. Back to fourth, you got David Altman still charging. He's just under 3 seconds behind Blocker. And, David off to a pretty good start himself here, Soup. Up one spot and still hanging out here in the top 5.
Look at fifth position. I think we're going to have a battle heating up in a minute. Right now, it is Brian Yasek racing pretty much all by himself, but beginning to close the gap is Michael Goodman. Remember, we talked about Goodman having that horrible pit stop, trying to make up some time for that one, as he's about 2.3 seconds ahead of the driver in 7th. Sean?
Yeah, and that's Andrew Kinsella, who kind of sits by himself here on track. The Canadian, as you said, about 2.5 seconds behind Goodman, finds himself just under...
Let's go to Altman. He just nosed it into the wall.
Oh, no. Boy, and that was strange. He just loses it there. Right? It was just coming out of the S's suit.
Yep. And he was having a great run, racing in 4th position. Sean just talked about him. He was second in line from when we went through here, and boy, he put it in. And I don't think he's coming back from this one. He's still parked there.
Boy, you know what?
I
think the car started to slide on him, and he gets on the brakes, and it locked up. It slid off and into that barrier. It knocks the front end off it, and Soup. It took him a long time. He sat there for quite a while before he actually towed, and I see he is taking his car behind the wall. Wow, what a tough break there for Altman.
Altman's someone, I hope he comes back next season. Somebody to keep an eye on. Let's pick this up. I'll take 7th and 8th. We'll go to Jason Galvin. That's where we left off before Altman had his issues. Jason running in 7th. He started in 10th, up 3 spots, obviously, if you do the math. He's 8 seconds behind Havaketch and about 7 seconds ahead of the guy running 8th. That is in the meat machine, Bob Mikas.
The meat machine.
Is he out there racing in the Von Hansen meat? He is.
Oh, yeah, he's in the Von Hansen's meat market, DW12 for sure.
All right, Sean, who's in 9th?
Boy, Woody, our buddy Woody Mahan, sitting there in 9th, up 7 spots, and the PlastiDipGarage.com DW12 is really hot this evening. Woody having a great run, probably one of the best runs he's had, and filling out the top 10. George Anzaldo Soup sitting there in 10th right now. He really had a top 10 in mind, and right now sits in pretty good shape.
We'll finish the rest of this in a minute. Yeah, you read my mind, Sean. We'll get the rest of those in a second, but right now it's heated up. We thought it was coming, and sure enough, Michael Goodman, again, just not to beat a dead horse, and I don't know why you would want to do such a thing, but he had that horrible stop, so he's pretty fast up there as he comes up on the back of Brian Yasek.
And they got to get by a car there. Who was that? That was Ed Tutwiler still. Oh, boy, Ed having trouble. But they got by clean, and the battle continues on. Goodman really making an attack here at the back wing of Brian Yasek. Yasek has been as smooth as the other side of the pillow here this evening. Is it smooth or is it cool or is it both? It's cool. Yeah, smooth as a baby's bottom. How about that, Soup? You like that?
There you go. And I think the King Tut, Ed King Tutwiler, has decided to wrap it up. Excuse my pun for that one, as he actually has taken the car into the pits now. I think he's done.
Sorry to see that for Eddie. He boy just didn't get any luck there at the start. Boy, God, Goodman is really working it now. Yasek making that DW12 just as wide as he can as they got out of the keyhole. Tried to break the momentum there of Goodman and did a good job. Goodman not able to get in the tow here, really heading into China Beach. Going to try and outbreak him. Just not enough. Yasek still with really good pace. Now Goodman closing him up just a bit there, Soup.
Yeah, the problem with Michael Goodman is something we've seen a lot is that he's fast on the technical sections where it's hard to get around. I think once he can get the job done and get around Jasek, he could probably put some distance between them. Now, Sean, we talked about the guys who are one-stopping. I'm not sure. I go here to see if anyone's got a chance at it. Who's been out there the least? How about Justin Weaver? He's only been out there for 6.5 laps. I think he's got a shot at doing this.
Yeah, I just wonder if he's too fast. I don't know.
Bob Vikas also on a long stop as long. Jason Galvin, but I think none of these. I don't see anybody who really has a shot at it.
Yeah, Soup. I'm not thinking so. I think maybe some thought about rolling the dice and it didn't work out. Another great battle here, though. Jasek yeah, Goodman's there. Can he complete it? I think he has. There we go. Give it to Michael Goodman, now in fourth. We're watching the replay now. Goodman and that AGR. Yep. I'm sorry, Soup. Go ahead.
No, from your home, your part of the world, and look at that great camera work there by our director. So what that means, since nobody, as we hear Rory Collins is coming in, since we don't think anyone's one-stopping it, that brings push to pass into play, right, Sean? Nobody's going to have to save those.
Yeah, absolutely. And boy, you want him here because there's a couple of great spots to take advantage of that. Namely, coming right off of that carousel there at the end. Boy, there at turn 13, you get one last boost off of that to the finish. Yeah, that's going to be fun. Someone who doesn't need him right now, though, I think is Jake Wright. He's climbed to a 7-second lead over Dan Guerin. Sometimes it's your night, and sometimes it's not. We still have 14 to go.
12. Oh, we had a battle here, but that's Rory Collins who pulled off. It was Dustin Wardlow trying to make up for it. Our apologies to the drivers that didn't get into the back half of our run through the field. We'll try to cover those later, but now with the pit stop starting, it's kind of nonsense to try to do a through the field. We got the top 10 done.
Oh, trouble for Woody. Oh, Woody loses it in the keyhole. Right in front of a lot of positions. That is a shame. Vincent Blumenthal, George Anzaldo, Justin Weaver, Dustin Wardlow all get through there before Woody can get going again. He just loses the grip down there, Soup.
Yep. Jasek has come into pit. Now, I know we've shown Justin Weaver a lot, but sometimes you can just get a hunch of a guy who is the show right now. And once again, it's Weaver. Now, he was ahead of work. He's the guy who spun, right?
Yeah.
And he's back again.
Yeah, no, he is. And I mean, all he did was spin. He didn't wreck it. He's going after George Anzaldo now. At Moby Dickey's DW12 is knocking on the first medical equipment Lionheart IndyCar Series DW12 with George Anzaldo. It's going to be a good battle between those two. Weaver is still up 14 spots, Soup. To find himself in 10th place. Right
now. Look at him work the car. He is full of confidence right now. And of course, he's in that Moby Dickey's car. You know, talk about confidence. He's like, if you were fishing for Moby Dickey's in a rowboat, he's the type of guy that would bring the tartar sauce with him. He is really a confident driver. Oh, my goodness, really working right now.
And Soup, do you know where Moby Dickey's is at?
I don't know. Where is it?
You would think it's on a nice wharf somewhere, right?
You would think.
Right. It's in Hendersonville, Tennessee.
Well, that doesn't sound near the ocean at all.
It's not, but it's a great place to hang out and get some seafood. That's what I'm told.
I keep thinking the Dickies is not about it's not Moby Dickey's it's the whale. It's like one of those fake turtlenecks that you wear around. That's my guess. Give a shout out to everybody at Moby Dickey's.
I don't know about that, Soup.
You know what a Dickie there? All right. Give a shout out to them. We hope they're watching. Raise your glasses as your driver, Justin Weaver, has been stealing the show as we look now at our leader coming in. We hear that the 41 is pitting. That's Kinsella. Now has Guerin stayed out. Guerin coming around, and Guerin stayed out. So,
Soup, Our crack team of investigators has found out that actually Moby Dickey's is on the waterfront of the Cumberland River, as I'm watching Justin Weaver spin off a course right now in that Moby Dickey's machine. Justin with a little trouble there. It was where was he? Right there, coming out of turn 5. Go on board with Dustin Wardlow here, Soup.
Look at our spotlighted driver today. That's a good view of that. Once again, our director doing a good job. Wardlow went by so fast, the camera wouldn't pan fast enough.
Oh, Ron Hacker getting by Matthew Mercer, who was off course out of the keyhole. Boy, a lot of drivers having trouble with the keyhole today.
Two drivers yet to pit. Dan Guerin and Adam Blocker. Go ahead, John.
I was going to say, it's a really, really flat hairpin there in turn 2, the keyhole. And again, drivers having trouble managing that today. A lot of cars sliding off there.
Yeah, well, our director's calling for a joke. I have
not yet. Not yet. We're going to save that one.
It's a good one. I got to save it for the right time. Here we go. Let's look at Mahan right now. This is Woody making a move on the blue car of Rory Collins. Let's make sure. Oh, and there comes the yellow car. Who is that? That's Joe Branch. Joe Branch is a lap down, is he not? Yeah. Well, I guess all these guys are racing here. They're all on the same lap. This is for position. Look at Branch.
Yeah, he didn't want to give that up. Woody wants to take it away. Oh, big development. Dustin Wardlow, Justin Weaver, both in the pits. Coming in for their last stop suit. And again, this is Wardlow's 3rd stop suit because of that trouble he had. Oh, Branch is spinning. Branch is spinning. He spun right in front of Woody Mahan.
And loses a ton of positions. Position after position.
He spins right there on the exit of the carousel, right there in turn 13, basically, the entrance of 13.
And then they all go by him. He was in that battle with Mahan, but Weaver goes by, Workman goes by. Daigle gets the spot.
They really got by. I mean, they're gone.
Adam Blocker out there saying, "Can you still see me?" Must be worried about blinking, but Adam, you look good to me.
We thought he was John Cena for a moment. Something. Sorry, I couldn't resist that.
Well, we tried to run down the field before, and I was going to come back after this pit stop, run down 11th through 14th, but fortunately they followed a lap down. Only 10 drivers on the lead lap now. The last one being Justin Weaver. And let's go. This is a fun battle. Let's battle for 12th.
Yeah. Oh, okay. You're watching that one. Okay, well, you keep an eye on that one. I'm going to keep an eye on the one between Kinsella, Yazik, and Goodman right now. Those three having fun chasing each other.
These guys are all one lap down if we look back here. The only reason I'm on this one is it features Justin Weaver, who I think is trying to get a move on Mahan. They have left Bart Workman behind. Let's go to 6th, though, Sean. Oh, here we go. Just when we were getting ready to leave it.
Yep. Oh, boy.
Woody Mahan.
Woody slides off, does not hit anything, but boy, in a really, really bad spot there. Lucky he didn't get off into the beach.
Yes, that's... And here we go. Look at this. This is Goodman makes the move. Kinsella in that battle. Yazik.
Well, what a confluence of talent right here, Soup. The fact that all three of these drivers would be on the track at in this spot of the track through at this point of the race right now speaks to the type of racing we've had. And you know what? They are really catching Jason Galvin real quick. Galvin about to be in trouble here because here comes Andrew Kinsella, Michael Goodman, and Brian Yazik.
Looking at Galvin. Galvin has yet to make that second pit stop. He has 8 to go. What I think he's looking at is a splash and go here.
I think that's really what he is looking at, Soup, because he was about 2 laps short of pulling that off.
Drivers who have yet to pit, Galvin and Bob Mikas. The problem is, I think Kinsella is coming, and I know that Michael Goodman is coming. Remember, Goodman, again, making up for that 20-second pit stop the first time around. His second stop, much better, 7.8 seconds.
Boy, Joe Branch getting off the track and out of the way, and I think Joe Branch has gotten out of the car.
Yeah.
Jason Galvin making the call. Here he comes, Soup.
Once again, Jason really doesn't need a spot or any strategy. Just listen to the broadcast and we'll tell him what to do. Nice job, Jason. So he surrenders that spot, so that's a spot for all the guys. Kinsella, Goodman, Yaza gets a spot. Looks like Bob Mikas is going to go around one more time, so he'll pick up that spot right now on Galvin. That is quite a long time before Galvin gets to anybody else. Dustin Wardlow back in 9th. I think Galvin might be able to come out in 8th position. In fact, he does. Really, really, really short pit lane here, isn't it, Sean? You can get in and out pretty quick.
Yeah, it is, Soup. It really is. I mean, your delta here are just right around 23 to 24 seconds, maybe 25. But, yeah, this is a quick one.
So that gets us down to 2 cars now on the lead lap.
You know, Dan Garrett is getting caught. It's Adam Blocker.
Now, it might have been traffic as Blocker just had to get around Workman. And Garrett as well. We'll see how this plays out. But Garrett's got more work to do because he got up ahead of him. Justin Weaver and Rory Collins. And Weaver, again, this is for position. Rory Collins, a name we really haven't mentioned much, but he's real close to cracking the top 10. Well, he's probably going to be one spot back here in a second from that. Weaver, boy, he's just putting that car wherever he wants.
He really is, Sue. Kids put on a clinic here for us today.
Oh, and he gets out of the way for Galvin as now Workman is out of trouble.
Yeah, he sure did. He spins it there, Soup, coming out of turn 5. It's right after getting through that China Beach complex there, and he just turns the car around.
He loses a spot to Pierre Degla. Degla up to 13th. 8 cars on the lead lap. The one battle we're going to kind of keep an eye on here with 5 to go. He's going to have to hustle. It's Adam Blocker. Boy, and with Dan Guerin and Adam Blocker together, my old-time Ponderosa, it's hard for me not to say Dan Blocker. You got to, of course, we're really skewing the demographics there of anyone who knows who Dan Blocker is. But Guerin in first, Blocker in second. Anybody in the YouTube chat, if you know who Dan Blocker is, go ahead and put it in there. It'll make me feel better.
I know who Dan Blocker is, but I'm not going to spoil.
All right.
I'm not going to spoil it for the YouTube fans here.
God bless you and the parents who raised you, Sean.
Yeah.
Kinsella and Goodman back there racing in 4th and 5th. We look at the second car of Dandy Dan Guerin.
Man, Soup, there's just under 4 laps left to go for a lot of the drivers on the lead lap. George Anzaldo finds himself in the top 10 right now. He sits there in that 10th spot. He's being chased by Weaver. Now, Weaver's got better pace. I just don't know if he's got enough time to catch him. It's 4.5 seconds.
I'll tell you right now, Sean, you and I broadcast a lot of series here on the Global Sim Racing channel. I've never had a series where the drivers lie more to the commentators than this one, especially about pit stop. Alzaldo told us he was one stop, and they didn't even try.
You just sold him out on me. So
yeah, well,
okay.
He lied to us, so I'm no sympathy from me.
His intel was not good. Bob Mikas coming in making that late stop, Soup. Sure to lose that position here. Maybe to Wardlow.
Little splash, a little salt and pepper on the meat. Get it back out there.
Wardlow's going to get past, though. That's going to slot Wardlow up to 8th. Mike is back to 9th. George not close enough to get it done. Now George has got an interesting thing happening to him here. He's got Dan Guerin right behind him.
And Guerin cannot be patient because he's just got about 3 seconds on blocker. Probably feeling good with 3 to go. And Sean, once again, this is even though Guerin's going to finish second, he's going to lose a few more spots to Jake Wright. Even this finishing second to Wright on a road course, that's almost a victory. Get back to an oval where anything could happen. Jake has a mistake, has to start using some more of those drop points, and Guerin can get right back up there.
But knowing Dan just a little bit, I can't help but to think that he'll probably consider it an opportunity lost based on the fact that he was able to out-qualify him.
Yeah.
And, I just know Dan. I think that's where he's going to be with it. He'll be happy with the second place, but he's also going to struggle with the fact that he knew he started here on the pole and hasn't quite been able to pull this one off.
Shout out to his mom, Penny, and his stepdad, Dave, watching at home. Hope you guys are having a good night.
They are frequent visitors here to the channel on Wednesday nights.
Let's go to 4th position. We're looking at where's P4 here? Is this Kinsella in the battle?
That's right. Yeah, no, it's Kinsella and Goodman in the battle, Soup. Yeah, indeed. These two going at it pretty hard. Kinsella trying to continue to fight for that rookie championship, and so is Michael Goodman.
And who's he fighting with? Yeah.
Yeah.
And with Ryan Otis not here tonight, it kind of just leaves the door open for these two guys.
Boy, and these two have just been great tonight. Kinsella up 2 spots, Michael Goodman back 2 spots. But let's face it, they're both in the top 5 and having just a tremendous run here today.
Coming up on Scott Johnson, running in 20th. He's 3 laps down. Let's see where Scott decides to put this car. Not really a great place to catch him. He's got to wait till they go through the chute here. Now there's chance to lift and let him by. Hey, nice job. We're on the white flag lap, and it is Jake Wright. He is working his way through China Beach, through 5, coming up through these 6, through the S's, through 6, 7.
You know, the only person to spend any time in the beach this evening, Soup? David Hasselhoff. He's the only guy. He's sitting out there in his lawn chair with his sunscreen on, the very uncomfortable white nose, all by himself.
We got it in. All right, through 12. Round number 18. The Lionheart IndyCar Series goes to Jake Wright. His 7th win, 5th on a road course this season. Dan Guerin's a little ways away as he works through the carousel right now that seems to never end. Right-hander comes out of that, a little left-hander through 13, and now he's going to pick up 2nd.
And the Adrenaline Motorsports Honda of Adam Block are going to take the podium there with 3rd.
Let's go to 3rd because let's go to this 4th place battle now. This is Kinsella and Goodman. Goodman is a coming.
Does he have one last pass left in him?
I think if the start-finish line was farther down the straight, he might get there, but unfortunately they run out of racetrack. Kinsella and Goodman, that's the order they race in the standings. They finish that well on the track as well. Yasik gets 6th, the last car on the lead lap.
Coming through the carousel now, Jason Galvin. Folks, he's on TV. The man from KGET.
Comes home in 7th. Okay, even though the racing is done here from the Buckeye State, our broadcast is not. We're going to take a short break, but we will come back to launch into the Lock Precision post-race show where we'll run down the entire finishing order, talk to some of the drivers, and then put a lock on the gate. Back in a few. Welcome back to the Global Sim Racing Channel's coverage of the Mid-Ohio 100 that we just got in the books as we launch into the Lock Precision Rocketry post-race show. Now, it's been a long time since the IndyCar series has come here, but for much longer it's been that Lock Precision has been around, because over the last 30 years the name Lock Precision has been synonymous with mid to high-powered rocketry. Lock Precision manufactures a full line of high-quality precision fit components that meet your building, repairing, and customizing needs. For more information, please visit lockprecision.com. It's always good to have the script in front of you before you start the plug. Let's go ahead and run down the finishing order that you just saw. And no surprise, it was Jake Wright and Dan Galvin going 1-2, although they qualified in reverse order to that, but Wright gets another win, Guerin gets second. Adam Blocker comes home in third. He was wondering how he did it. Well, Andrew Kinsella behind him in fourth. One of the main reasons those guys were able to finish third and fourth was the bad mistake from Michael Goodman on that first stop, as he had to settle for fifth place, right behind Kinsella. The final two cars on the lead lap were Brian Yosek and Jason Galvin. Then 8th, 9th, and 10th go to our spotlighted driver, Dustin Wardlow. Bob Mikas in the Meat Machine comes home in 9th, and George Anzaldo, who lied to us about one stopping it, well, he two-stopped it like everybody else, comes home in 10th. A good finish, though, from Anzaldo, Sean.
George is never going to let me live down the fact that I sold him out on that. Well, I think the big surprise this evening was the Mid-South driver, Justin Weaver, with his 11th place finish. Soup. That man started back in 24th tonight, so great run by Justin. 12th is going to go to Rory Collins. But we didn't talk about him much, but you know what? That's a solid finish for Rory. Pierre Degla, he'll finish 13th. He'll salvage that 13th place finish and be happy with it. Bart Workman, 14th. He was up 11 spots, Soup. Woody Mahan there in 15th. Boy, just a couple mistakes there by Woody. He was so short of finishing somewhere up in the top 10 here. Ron Hacker, 16th. Matthew Mercer, 17th. Vincent Blumenthal, he picked up 4 spots, finished 18th. 19th, going to go to Robert Bluen. And top 20 is going to be rounded out by Scott Johnson.
And a man trying to flourish who got pruned is Joe Branch, as he finishes 9 laps down in the blackjack position. Scott Bolster in the double duck spot, 14 laps down. All these guys with big trouble. Here's a guy that was way up in front. David Altman qualified 5th, had some bad luck, wasn't able to capitalize on that good qualifying. Ed King Tutwiler, my gosh, this didn't work out for him. The Dragonfly driver finishes in 24th. Big Joe Hazard, 32 laps down in 25th. And then the man from Australia, he can go to bed. Or actually, I guess he can start his day. That's the Racing Kangaroo in 26th, Michael Gray. Okay, Sean, who do you have in the booth for you to talk to there?
Oh, all right. Well, I'm going to get to talk to our winner then this evening. I'm going to talk to Jake Wright. Jake, back in victory lane again, back at a road course, and it's all you, buddy. Talk first about the pass on Dan. I know it came pretty easy there on the back straight, but didn't you think maybe he'd come back at you at some point?
I wasn't sure. I had the opportunity to pass him out of there. I had a good exit out of turn 2, and I immediately got on the push to pass, and I had the draft all the way down the backstretch, and I was able to make the car stick through turn 4, I think it is. So, yeah, I thought he was gonna have something for me in the next few corners, but Mid-Ohio is such a hard track to pass on. So, yeah, I don't know. It was fun.
It was fun, and you talked about turn 2. So many drivers had trouble in turn 2 today, finding the grip down there. What's the tricky part about that turn?
It's just it's easy to overshoot it and undershoot it even. You have to hit the perfect braking line, keeping the wheel straight, and then letting up on the brakes as you turn in. It's extremely difficult to just hit it consistently. So I messed it up a few times, I think, and I don't know. It's probably one of the more tricky corners on the track aside from turn 5 and 9.
Now, I know in practice leading up to this race, a lot of guys were struggling with a car that they felt was maybe a little twitchy. You didn't seem to struggle this evening, but you saw a lot of action around you. What's the real key to tackling Mid-Ohio?
Patience. Definitely patience. Just there's only really a few passing spots on the track, so if you can just be a little patient and wait for those passing opportunities, you can make your way through safely.
Well, Jake, it's been another great season for you. I don't know that it's been a dominant one. You've certainly had your challengers, and you had to work to get where you're at for sure. But Dan Guerin chasing you. He was only 19 points going in tonight. Now the win is going to help you, but he's still right there. Got to be a little concerned about how close Dan Guerin is back there.
Oh, definitely, and he's been really quick on the road courses this year, and we still have 2 to go plus ovals, and I think next week we head to Iowa, which anything can really happen there. But overall, it's been a pretty good season. I'm happy for it, especially considering we have 200 less completed laps than Dan. So it's been a comeback season for sure, but it's definitely been the most intense season, which makes it a good one to remember.
Well, you want to definitely continue to challenge yourself. You have done that this season. We look forward to another great race when we get back here in a couple weeks. But again, Jake, tonight you are the man. Congratulations, buddy.
Thanks, guys. I'll see you next week at Iowa.
All right, we will see you then. And Soup, that is our winner. You have caught up with Dan Guerin, and talked to him about the race he had.
Well, Dan, congratulations on your second place finish. I bet you probably wanted more. You were able to hold Jake off for about a lap and a half.
The whole race was just a shock to me. I had a talk with Jake earlier today and told him, like, dude, I have a shot at actually getting the pole. Somehow I got the pole. And he congratulated me, and earlier I told him, if I get the pole, just let me at least lead 1 lap, and then you'll just blow right around me. I ain't got nothing for you, buddy.
Yeah, your qualifying times, you were a 106.6. He was a 106.6, just a few hundreds of seconds slower than you were. But once he got in front, it was Katie Bar the Gore. He was gone.
Yeah, he's the king of roads. I mean, just look at all his stats. Most of his wins are on road courses, but I said just to get the pole and to finish second, throughout all my practices and everything, I could not complete but only 1 fuel run without an incident. So I knew I was going to crash out. So second place is a victory for me.
And then you weren't able at the end. You're not able to just cruise home because you had Adam Blocker starting to close up on you there. Made it kind of interesting for you at the end.
Yeah, definitely. Adam is very fast on road courses too, and him and I quickly chatted right after the race there, and I told him I was being very cautious. I just wanted to finish the race. I didn't want to push it. He was catching me. He caught lap traffic at the wrong time, unfortunately, but that allowed me to get ahead of him just that much further and hold him off the rest of the way.
Now, your club is the Midwest. Are you anywhere close to Ohio? You ever been to this place? What state are you in?
I am in southeast Iowa, right along the Mississippi, and I've never been to Ohio.
Okay, well, congratulations on the finish here, second place today. And if you ever need any medical equipment, you're real close to First Medical, their sponsors.
He is actually just literally like 2 to 3 blocks to my north. But I just want to give a couple quick shout-outs, of course. My team, Dave Cordy, which showed up late because he fell asleep. Shout out to Brandon. He didn't race tonight. He's got an injured foot, unfortunately, so heal up there, buddy. My parents, and Brett Alt over in the GSRC channel there.
Yeah, Brett was having a good run, qualified 5th. Looked like he didn't have quite the race that he wanted, but a nice qualifying run from him.
Yep.
All right, Dan Guerin, second place finisher tonight. Good luck the rest of the way. Sean, who you got?
Soup. Hang on, I gotta recover from that for a second. I've caught up with Adam Blocker. Adam, what a race tonight, man. I said to these guys when we went to break after the finish, sometimes you got to watch out for these Carolina drivers. You never know which one of them might be some kid in a development program for some NASCAR team, maybe even an IndyCar team. Brother, you were wheeling it tonight, man. What a finish here at Mid-Ohio.
Well, I wish I was in that sort of position, but I'm not. But it was a really good race for me. I felt really good about the car, everywhere from like 7 laps in. It took me a while to get up to speed because I was a bit slow early on, just I don't know, nerves or whatever. But once I settled in, I felt really good about it. I thought, I was faster than Dan at the end, but.
Well, Adam, you're not really points racing for a championship at this point, but what a way to build momentum heading into 2018. Certainly a lot of racing left and a great chance to establish yourself. But this is your first podium finish, if I remember correctly, isn't it?
Yeah, it's my first podium finish in the IndyCar. Had 2 fourths before this, but yeah, it feels really good to get that first podium out of the way. Like you said, I'm not really points racing because I've missed the first half of the season, but definitely trying to just work on my skill and how I run full races and stuff like that in preparation for next year, and hopefully maybe trying to get a win or a pole near the end of the season. But I'll if I can just get podiums or just do my best every week, I'm fine with that too.
Well, that's certainly going to be your finish. Is a great shot in the arm for Adrenaline Motorsports. Certainly they're going to be happy with your performance today.
Yeah, I think we still got beat by Jake's team, but Andrew and I definitely had good performance, 3rd and 4th, and we're not too far behind the team standings. I think we'll have 2nd pretty much wrapped up, but yeah.
Well, Adam, congratulations. We'll head back to an oval next. You feel like you're starting to get a handle on this DW12?
Well, the ovals are just kind of a crapshoot because it seems like recently I've had trouble I've had problems getting in other people's mess, but yeah, Iowa, it's not my favorite track, but I'll try to make something happen. I like the 2 after those. I think we go to Gateway and Chicagoland after that. I really like those 2 tracks. Then we have Road America and Donington left, so I like road courses, so those should go well as well. And also, I'm looking forward to Barber tomorrow in the Lotus 79. That'll be a ton of fun.
Yeah, you guys have got your hands full with that. Barber, not one of my favorites. That track's just way too technical for me. You boys have fun there, and we'll see you next time at Iowa. Adam Blocker, your 3rd place finisher tonight here. He rounds out our podium soup. Why don't you talk to Andrew Kinsella real quick? He, Adam's teammate, and finished 4th tonight. What a great run for Andrew.
Oh, Kinsella from the Great White North. It is Andrew Kinsella, our top rookie, finishing 4th. Nice run, Adam. I'm sorry, Andrew.
Thanks, Soup. I didn't make it easy on myself, though, did I? With that second lap off.
Nope.
It was quite the recovery drive. Gotta give a huge shout out to Adam, first of all, though. First Lionheart Series podium on a road course there. He was right there with Dan the whole race. I think I had some damage after that off because I just wasn't as fast as I was in practice, and man, I just barely got out in front of Michael Goodman there at the last stop, and I don't know how I kept him behind me because he was pushing so hard. And I mean, of course, it's Michael Goodman, so he's such a clean driver, but he was pushing me so hard.
Yeah, we saw that, and I honestly, because he had a horrible first pit stop, he had to make a lot of time. He was really fast. You did a good job of holding him off. You got to kind of be happy here with 4th place, and it keeps you in the hunt, I think, because anything can happen on the ovals with these guys. If Wright or Guerin get in a little trouble, you can pick up some major points.
Yeah, we're definitely still in the hunt, and it was good to be able to pick up a few points on Michael for the rookie standings as well. I got a stat for you. I don't think that Jake has actually finished outside the top 10 since round 8. So if that's really true, man, he's got to have some bad luck at some point, right?
Well, welcome to the Lionheart IndyCar Series. I don't know. That's why he's 2-time champion. He's fast. I think he's here basically just to spy on us and find our weakness and report back to us alien overlords about how to overthrow us. Because yeah, he's something else.
It's got to be something like that. I don't know how he keeps doing it week after week, but I mean, he's an amazing driver. But yeah, I'd like to thank PlastyDipGarage.com for coming on board, and as well as Adrenaline. Joe didn't have the race he wanted to, but he was really fast as well. And then the guys I was racing with were awesome: Brian, Jason, Michael, and Dustin. It was just a pleasure to race around them as always.
All right, well, get it out here. Well, hey, how about just forget that word? Tip of the hat for a nice 4th place finish for you.
Thanks, Soup.
There we go. Pronunciation, a very part. Page 17, the commentator's handbook here at GSRC. Learn to pronunciate, Soup. All right, Sean, do you have anything else before we wrap it up?
Well, another big part of that book is phrasing. We want to make sure we get our phrasing right. Okay, Soup, that's always very important. We're always working on phrasing. Rumors abound here. The silly season underway in the Lionheart IndyCar Series. Old familiar name kicking around, might be making a comeback. Michel De Jong. I don't know if you remember him or not.
Would love to see that.
Former Indy 500 winner here in the Lionheart IndyCar Series. So we'll keep our eyes open, see if he shows up in a practice session or two. But that could be exciting. So more competition.
Might be a little culture shock for him when he comes back. Things have toughened up since the last time he was here. We look forward to it. And just to follow up on how great this series is, and we look forward to being back for Season 6, how about 3 rookies on the top 5 today? Adam Blocker, Andrew Kinsella, Michael Goodman. It just gets tougher and tougher to win here. Well, unless you're Jake Wright. Okay, with that said, I think we're ready to wrap this thing up. Hey, I want to thank, these guys really are... They don't get the attention that they deserve, and that's First Medical Equipment. They've been the source of medical supplies and equipment in the Burlington, Iowa area for years because of their superior commitment to provide the absolute best in products, quality, and customer service. They bless them for the work they do, because so often you're dealing with customers that are in need of a medical equipment. They're not in the best of mood right now because, well, they need medical equipment, and they try to make it as pleasant as they can. And there's a lot of paperwork to deal with when you're dealing with insurance and all that kind of stuff. These guys will help you out. If you want to find out more about them, go to www.firstmedequipment.com. And how about these guys, HPP Simulations? Nothing beats the feel of a true hydraulic braking system in the world of sim racing, designed and manufactured right here in the United States of America on state-of-the-art CNC equipment. HPP, man, there's a lot of initials in this plug. Hydraulic pedals and their accessories set the standard for simulation racing. For more information, or simply FMI, please visit www.hppsimulation.com. Crackers?
Soup, do you like meat? Do you love meat?
I do
The
like
people
meat.
at Von Hansen's absolutely love meat. We got to thank them for sponsoring the Countdown to Green, the new old-fashioned meat market and butcher shop. We also want to thank Lock Precision Rocketry. And you've really got to check out their web. Just look up Lock Precision, LOC. They're Lock Precision. We want to thank them for sponsoring these post-race shows. Fly hard, fly safe, fly lock. Thanks to everyone at the Lionheart IndyCar Series for organizing the series and contracting with GSRC to broadcast it. We want to thank, I think Team Nailed It today for sponsoring this event.
Is it Team Nailed It? I'm not sure if
I
it
got
is.
that right? No, I
they were
closed
here-
all my stuff already.
Yeah, they were here last time. But we thank them anyway. We will double thank the sponsor of tonight, since we forgot to do it.
We're going to have to sack somebody for that Soup.
Yeah, somebody did not finish out the script down there. We'll since there was no title on the thing, we don't know who it is, but we'll give them a special attention next time. Let's see, how about this? I'll take the next part. Thank the companies, equipment, and software. I hope the bosses are not watching this closing, because they're going to have to call us into the office and see the screen for how to contact them. Let's see, me now again. Original music, yeah. It's Casey Lalonde and Eric Echolm. Download their stuff. It's good for any occasion. Use it for like a wedding, or if somebody breaks into your house and you want to fend them off, put that on in the background to give you extra little inspiration to give them a good karate chop. Oh my gosh, Sean, I'm done. You have the script open. Just go
Soup,
from here.
I am going to properly thank the sponsor of this race. That would be the Racing Kangaroo, Michael Gray.
Okay.
Who was unable to finish this race due to PC problems. But yes, Michael Gray, directly responsible for taking this with us today. We appreciate him. We also appreciate the Lionheart IndyCar Series, and they will return in 2 weeks on October 11th from Iowa. GSRC will be there, and we hope you join us. If you'd like to find out more about us, the Global Sim Racing Channel, your best bet is globalsimracingchannel.com. Yes, we're on social media, and you can find us on Twitter at GSR Channel or Facebook. Go over there and just type in Global Sim Racing Channel, all one word, and we'll pop right up, I promise you.
Man, we were having such a good broadcast. I feel like I feel like a pitcher who gives up a home run for a no-hitter in the 9th inning. We were doing so well, then we got to this closing part here. Let's finish this up. Finally, on behalf of a man who your voice you just heard, Sean Crackers Ambrose, our director Amjad Yaman, and our camera artist Dougie Beard, I'd like to thank all of you for watching. With that said, we're off to have fun storming the castle. So until next time, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.